All right, so this should be working. Sorry. Sorry about that. Just trying to go set up the mic properly. Can you guys see and hear? Oops. Oh, awesome. Yay. All right, so hi Otto and Cyan and Josephina, April. How is everyone today on this beautiful Saturday? Hi Jacqueline. It's gloriously sunny here too. Yeah, it's kind of hot and sunny here as well. I am not sure I appreciate it because unlike Scotland, we still have over 30 degrees Celsius here, and it's really gross. You probably know all by now that I am not one for the heat. I'm very ill adapted to heat in general. So blah. Hi Stan and Gabriel. Hi Queen. I feel like I'm watching RuPaul. Yes, Queen, or the Queer Eye. I'm really excited. I'm going to see RuPaul next week. Well, not next week, but the one after that. And RuPaul won't be there, but there's gonna be like a bunch of drag queens, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. I wish we had 14 degrees C. We still have 30. It sucks up all the energy in the world. 30 degrees is disgusting. Fabulous. Yes. I'm really excited. I'm going with a friend. And I love Drag Race. I think Kimchi is gonna be there. I'm really excited because she really has a pretty awesome visual and creative fashion sense. So it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be weird to be there because I'm definitely not gonna fit visually in the crowd, but I'm fairly sure I'm not gonna be the only one. Still gonna be awesome. I'm sweating already. No. Jacqueline says, Eve, I got the set of 18 Schminke Pearl with the gold. I'm setting up and swatching them right now. I heard a great tip online. Use a dedicated brush so you don't contaminate your other paints. Oh, that's a good tip. I will probably do that. I will probably use a synthetic as well because sometimes the metallic paints can be really hard to re-wet and I don't want to be scrubbing into the pans with a more delicate brush. And I agree with the Sam, that's a really good question. Jacqueline, are you gonna be sharing your swatches somewhere? Because it would be really exciting to see the pearlescent colors, since that's the ones I didn't buy. Well, actually, this kind of purchase is made possible by the generosity of the people who use my affiliate links on Jackson's. So I like through your purchases, you gave me the credits to be able to purchase this set and try it and swatch it, and I'm really thankful for that. Also, it took like Like I placed, I think I mentioned it, but I placed the initial order for this set like, so 3 months ago in May, like 25th of May, so exactly, what, 3 months ago? And I got it like last week. Yeah, it was a bit of a mix-up, but the customer service at Jackson's is always awesome. So they fixed it up for me, and they finally sent it to me. And I'm glad I can swatch these perhaps today, because they have the set in stock at the moment. So if you see the set, like I hate doing reviews about stuff that is not available anymore. Oh, oh wow. Oh, okay, Otto. Enjoy your chicken. Oh no, April. Oh, connection. That's not good. Oh yeah, these re-wet better. I have the older Schminke Silver and Gold. Perhaps I should dig them out so we can compare. I can prepare like another little row of swatches here and... Oops. Yeah, I have the habit of retracting the leads in my pencils, so the number of times I go to make a line and there is just no lead available, and that was really a really skewed line. What am I doing? Okay, that's better. All right, I will... Hi, Victor. Yeah, this. Doop, doop, doop. Just let me grab the stuff I need to do the black line. I usually keep everything really nearby, but sometimes the mess wins. Ooh, chicken wings. I don't think I've ever eaten chicken wings. Unless they came with the chicken. You know, when you buy a full chicken, a whole chicken, a full chicken, what? Usually there's a set of wings on there, but it's been forever, and chicken is not my favorite meat. If I'm gonna eat meat, I will not reach for chicken first. Of course, it depends on the type of preparation. Hey, talking about food again. This is truly a Saturday live stream. Hey, Patricia. Hi, Stacy. Are you still like unboxing and fixing up the space, Patricia? I still cannot believe how intense moving season was this year with the heat and all of that. It's incredible. It was so hot, unbelievably hot. Stacy says, at this point I'm resigned to Brenda mica sparkles in lots of my stuff. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Peg. Yeah, swatching. Talk about something new here, right? Well, I won't be only swatching. I was talking with Mr. E and he really suggested something fun to do. But I wanted to swatch these out as well. Right. Only thing I will be missing is probably this. Okay. Oh, sorting out and putting together an 18 well palette. Hi Massimiliano, hi Mindy. Sorry if this makes the camera wobble. Is this better? Yeah. I cannot wait for winter. Ah! Freaking stupid summer. Hi Jenik. Oh, salty licorice. That has to be an acquired taste, right? I see that and I'm like sweating a bit more. I'm like, eeh. You know when you buy, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jelly Belly's jelly bean? Jelly beans, yeah. They're this brand of American jelly beans and they come in all sorts of flavors. And there is indeed a licorice flavor. And they have a mix that is like 39 flavors and it includes the licorice one. So whenever you buy the 39 flavors, there's always a game going on, like who's gonna lose the game, who's gonna get the first licorice one. Like every time I see a really dark one, I have to smush it, and if it smells like licorice, I just toss it. I cannot. Have you ever used Zetchi watercolors? I haven't, but apparently the formula for the Zetchi and for the, I'm probably butchering that, I'm really sorry, but the Zetchi watercolors is the same formula as the Renaissance one, except that the Renaissance paints will cost a lot less. Okay, so here I have this limited edition gold pearl metallics. It's available in 3 sets. You have only the gold colors, well, gold and no, actually there is no silver color in there, so only the gold colors. You have a set of 12 and it's like the, you know, the longer tin, and it's only half full, I think. And those are the, like the sort of pearl colors that are basically like a super bright color with a shimmer in it. And then you have a set of 18 that is in the square pan. You remember the square pan, you know, the one with room for 18 colors, and it's both the gold and the pearl colors. So yeah, so I only got the gold ones because I have the fine tech colors, and I feel like with the fine tech colors I'm really not missing out on the shimmer paints, but I love gold colors, and this set has rose gold, which was like something I had to jump on. I love the rose gold color. I feel like it's different and quite unique. Did you ever have the Hogwarts jelly beans? I have. Quite a long time ago, so I think they added flavors since then. But yeah, I've eaten those. And I gotta say, I think the one I disliked the most was the spaghetti one. It wasn't a fun experience. Hey Dan, hi! Oh no, Jacqueline! Well, that we can sort of create perhaps a support group for that bishop, because even I realized talking to Otto that even if I'm on medication for anxiety and all that, I still have like sort of a depression low that comes anyway. But it's different, but it's the same at the same time. It's really weird, and it's the first time I get this. But talking to Otto, she really helped me figure out that I'm basically having issues with depression too, but I've always been kind of a functional depressive, so it's really more difficult in those cases to realize that you're depressed because you can still do stuff, but you struggle a lot with other issues. Oh, I made a swatch card, but I guess I didn't have to. Create your own swatch card, color card. It looks like it's the insert they use for either Horadam Aquarelle or the Academy Aquarelle. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna use this now. So, if you can say Schminke Horadam without laughing, how are you now a serious artist? No idea. Is it funny? Is it supposed to be funny? Oh no, Cyan. Yeah, it really looks like it's been a super rough month slash summer for a lot of people. I'm really sad to see that, but at the same time, I like that many of us are talking about it, so we can support each other and feel better, I guess, generally, since we shared this stuff. Like, talking to Otto has really helped me, so I'm really thankful that she was willing to talk about this stuff with me. Okay, so I'm just looking for my regular gold and silver. I will remove them from this set, in which they don't really belong anyway. Hi Heather! Hi Lindy! Hi Yaku! Yaku! Sorry, I'm all, I'm all flustered going from one accent to another, reading the words. It's been a rough month. 4 years ago. Oh no, 4 weeks ago. What? Oh no, Victor, that's so bad. Holy moly. Yikes. Oh no, no, that's so bad. I'm so sorry for you. I hope the car accident wasn't too bad. I mean, like being in pain, in physical pain, I should say. Though I guess psychological pain doesn't help either. But like being in physical pain with like bandages and having to deal with that and the heat. Holy crap. Excuse my French. But yeah, I really hope. Oh, I hope things get better soon. Holy crap. Yeah, summer this year is disgusting. Like, literally, this summer people have died because it was summer. What the heck? You're not supposed to die because it's summer. It's been that bad. Okay, so a bit about the paints, huh? Because they gotta talk about. So first thing I noticed is this set is, if you're clumsy, this set is gonna end up in an accident for you. It is all sharp edges. Like this mixing tray has nothing here, no rim. It's basically the super sharp metal. The bottom tray, same story again. This insert, also sharp metal. Luckily the insert, you're not supposed to really take it out. It's gonna stay in there most of the time. Oh, thank goodness, Victor. The car was totaled, but I'm fine. Just a few scrapes and bruises. Whew. Yeah, that's the good part of being in an accident, I guess, is if you can step away with really minor injuries. Yeah, this kind of super sharp tins, you really have to either be super, I gotta stop putting it back in there because I'm gonna have to pop these out. But yeah, either you have to be super careful about the edges, or you have to wrap them in something like washi tape or fabric tape or any kind of tape, because I wish I had, let me grab something like an eraser perhaps just to test how sharp that is. I'm fairly sure I have old crummy erasers around that I can use, that I can sacrifice to this experiment. I have no idea why they make these things, and it's not an issue of size because, well, let me grab another tin in there. See, this is a, it's not the exact same size, but it's a similarly small size tin. Also for 12 colors, and it's even smaller than the Schminke one. I did not expect that. But this one has rolled edges, so both your fingers, the only sharp edge is around here, and it's kind of difficult really to get to catch yourself in it. But this one here has no borders around here, so the paint will just go wherever. Luckily these are gold paint, so I guess you're not gonna end up with a large pool of paint in there, but still, I mean, this is more efficient, right? And this inner tray, like the box, also has a rolled edge. And this is kind of a, you know, I'm pretty sure these are really cheap tins that are made for the Jane Davenport paints. Like, they are definitely not made to the price and standard that Schminke boasts. So yeah, let's sacrifice this poor eraser. Just bring a tiny bit of pressure. Oh, I think my eraser is too old and too dry. Let's try this. Well, it does. Yeah, it did like cut into the eraser. I have to apply a bit of pressure because I think this is firmer than actual like flesh. But still, it cuts. Like if you're stuck in the wood with nothing with but your palette, I'm pretty sure you can MacGyver something with the edges of this. Which is not a compliment, by the way. Yeah, even the PBO tin was, I think it didn't have the round edges at least. Yeah, and I was annoyed by the fact that it's written Jane Davenport on the tins, and I'm like, ugh. I don't put the Jane Davenport's paint in there, so let's just cover these up. Stickers everywhere, let's go. It's really absurd that the tin are so dangerous. Like, it really limits the fun to be had out of these paints. Like, if you are someone who is a bit clumsy, or even let's pretend that you're outside and painting, and there's a wind suddenly, and yeah, this is kind of weird with nothing in there, but like you could easily, like if something is about to fall off and you try to catch it, you could hurt yourself. You could like reach for something and stamp your arm, like squish it in there and hurt yourself again. It's so silly. Even all, have you guys ever had a problem with rust on your tins? I haven't. I don't like to, like, I know that some people like to spray directly over the tin to re-wet paints. That's not something I like to do. I wonder if that helps with the rust. Well, helps. Is not helpful. Oh, thank you so much, Otto. Yeah. Yeah, we support each other, which is really awesome in this community. Also, the Schminke tins are so expensive on their own. Yeah. And you would expect for that price that they would be, like, not dangerous. Like, what is wrong with this idea of having safe pans? Okay, so, rose gold. I want to take forever with this, but yeah. Also, Schminke, label your pans. What? Why is it so hard to put the name of the pan on the pan? Aww. Aww, guys. But yeah, it's really nice to be able to connect to people who have like really similar, not just, you know, not just the interest and the mindset, but also issues. Like I really, like, if it wasn't for this community, I would have never met so many people. And I cannot imagine my life without these peoples right now. These peoples? Yeah, that's a word. It's kind of funny how there's like basically no difference between these two pans right now. Yep, I agree. Lissy says, at the price rate the Schminke tins go for, it would be more prudent to get the medium ones from Amazon. I was curious about them, so for the sake of science and paint and the channel, I have ordered the medium paints from AliExpress because they're a bit cheaper than on Amazon, and I'm really curious to see how they compare to the other pans I have. If they are like on par with the quality from the Schminke set, I think they are perhaps better made, but we'll do a full like tin comparison when I get them. So this gold set has so far rose gold, red gold, yellow gold, antique gold. How many colors are you trying to fit in a single palette, Victor? Heather says, I guess that since the pigments have mostly become safe, they decided to make the palettes sharp. That way you can still say painting is hazardous to your health. Hi, Avery. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there is a sticker with the number of the color on it, but it's kind of complex when you have, well, perhaps not with these gold colors, though. Yeah, I'm saying that, but like this looks a lot like this, and these two look really similar. So it's just easier to, you know, reference a color when you have the name handy. I mean, the number is better than nothing, because that way you can still find which pan it is. But I've had Schminke pans that didn't have no numbers on them and no labeling whatsoever, and that was a bit frustrating. Like, I wrote by hand because I was like, how am I supposed to figure this out? How am I supposed to like make sense of this? So again, following Otto's example, I'm using a Sharpie this time. Oh, the full Holbein range! Wow! 108 colors. Well, you could do something similar to what I do with my, where is it? My Daniel Smith collection. You want to know how I got these stars? These cars painting. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Whew. Oh no, Patricia. Were you able to locate which paint you're reacting to? Oops. Of course, I'm rolling on my stupid mic cable, of course. I am gonna dig it out just to make sure. But I think you can fit a good amount of colors in there. Like I have two 48 trays, but I think you can fit 4 colors more in each. So 52, that's 104 colors. So basically you're just missing space for four colors. It's 108. And you could do like a small insert like I have here on the side for the extra colors. Like it's a document box that I've put trays in. Ah yeah, good thing that you got the Holbein 108. They are great paints. They're so much fun to use, and they are really reliable for the rewettability and like the fact that they are smooth. Hi Ashley! I think I missed a few people, but hi people! Why do you have so many of the same color? They are not the same! Yep. It's reached a level of like, they're not the same. This one is from Schminke and this one is from Sennelier. They're not the same. Sennelier has honey in it and the other one doesn't. It has Huxgall in it. Ooh, 400 colors palette. What would you put that in? Oh no. No. Oh no, Patricia. Ugh, staining tables. That's gotta stink. Yuck. Do you get affected? Whoops. I wrote light god instead of light gold, which is kind of funny. But Patricia, are you affected when they redo the asphalt? Because that really stinks. That's a really annoying stink. Okay, so I will put these back in. You all know the trick, right? If you want to clip in a pan securely, you just bend this towards the middle a bit, and then you insert the pans with the the bottom of the pan to this smaller rim, and then you clip them in. The whole Holbein and Sennelier colors, plus what I do have of the Daniel Smith colors, with room for growth on the DS1. Oh, wow. Oh no, Patricia, yeah, they've been redoing like the asphalt a lot around here. And even for someone who is not like reacting to the smell like in an unusual way, I would say, it's still like impossible. So I'm just gonna use double-sided tape to glue the wrappers next to the pans, because to the swatches, because that way I can have all the info handy and I don't have to find a way to store these, because I usually keep them, but like keeping them not on the swatch is kind of stupid. You can get enamel sprays, Cyan, you know, like you get the spray paint in cans, you can get enamel paint in a similar spraying can, which you would have to use like a mask and everything and ventilation, but that's a way you can apply enamel in kind of an easy way, I guess. All hail light god. I would say all hail light gold, though. You got a good hearty laugh out of me, Heather. The thing about hurting oneself on the palettes instead of by the paints. That's funny. It's so funny because it's really true. Oh yeah, the clip noises you get when you secure the pans in a palette are so satisfying. Like click and you're like, ah yes, click, woo. Did you say custom palette? Yay. I love custom palettes as well. Watercolor 12-step program. Yeah. Yikes. Oops. Okay, almost done with the prep. Hi, Victor. I will eventually see if I kept the wrappers for the silver and gold, but for now I'm just gonna leave them empty because it might take more time to find them out than I want to invest right now. So let's get to the actual swatching. Just gonna find a really basic synthetic brush, maybe something like this one, which is really inexpensive. It used to be white Taklon brush. Okay, first color is rose gold. Let's start with something really important for me in this set. I don't expect these to be like super metallic. I know they will be more like a shimmery color. That's perfectly fine with me. I like that with these you can mix them into other color and get kind of a nice subtle shimmer. If I want really metallic colors, it's really difficult to find these in watercolor. You might have more chances of finding them in gouache or acrylic or oil if you do oil. But for watercolors, the fine tech ones are great, but for everything else you're gonna have to look at shellac inks or really something different. Do you have issues finding a good professional watercolor palette, Avery? Okay, the next one is red gold. It does really look redder than rose gold. Oh wow. Whoa, are those imperial sheets, Victor? Because a pack of 25 imperial sheets of arches, 300-pound cold press, that's really good price. Oh, you've seen super metallic golds from handmade paint makers? Dan? I know I've made metallic paints as well, but they were perhaps more not opaque but stronger, like less transparent, but they would also always be kind of shimmery, not really metallic. Yeah, Holbein's gold and silver is, well, I like them all, but yeah, they're kind of more of a faint, a subtle shimmer rather than a fully gold color. Okay, the next one is yellow gold. Did you guys notice? I really like this with shimmering paints, but when you apply them with water at the first couple of strokes, it looks like the paint is dancing the way it flows in the water. I kind of really like that. I think that's a fun effect of the shimmer paints. Like you see all the pigments settle, but since they are like mica and shiny pigment, they make for this fun visual effect of the paint moving around. Special offer sets are the worst. They are the worst. I agree. Oh wow, 22 by 30. Yeah, that's a lot of, that must be so heavy. No, I don't have problem finding palettes, I just don't have the money to buy them, and I'm not old enough to buy them myself, so I doubt my parents would buy them for me. Oh, why not? I mean, you can always ask them for a good gift, right? Yeah, that's a good point. The metallic colors, they often look better over dark colors. I need to test at some point. I don't really know how I would do it, perhaps with a really staining yellow color, but I want to make attempts eventually of layering the gold colors on top of either a red, orange, or yellow background and see if that helps, you know, boost the effect. This one is antique gold. I'm not sure why they decided to call this antique gold. Maybe I'm not familiar with the types of gold enough to assess this one. It's pretty, that much I can say. Everything limited edition are worse. Yeah, they are. Yeah, like this set, the stupid limited edition gold paints, like. Oh yeah, Krimmer has the gold. Well, Krimmer has like 100 gold, no, not 100, but they have at least a dozen of gold colors. You're gonna have to let me know on the exact details of the one you have, Ashley. I'm always looking for gold. Oh yeah, I kind of want Kremer paints now, even if I have quite a few. I need to paint more though. It's been really difficult having this kind of weird, phony depression thing going on. Because it's I saw a thing and I realized that it really efficiently said what I was feeling, but it's like having all the oh yeah, now I can't remember what it said. Good job, brain. But it's like you have all this energy and desire to create, but you got no goals. You're unable to stick to a goal, so you're basically have all this unspent energy that just bounces around in you, and you don't really have a way to outlet it that works. Gold digger. Yep. Well, if that can be a if that can be a definition for the word, I will wear it with pride because I love gold paints. But I think the usual meaning we associate with gold digger is not super great. Ever try any of the Daniel Smith interference colors? Yes. Yes. I have a few. I love them. I love the FX paints from Daniel Smith. They're just a bit difficult to use. because I'm never quite sure how to fit them in illustration, let's say. But I love them. I love them so much. Like I could paint a sheet of it and just watch it for like a really long time, just having it in the light and being like, ooh, ooh, color, ooh, shiny. What's it like on the wall? Ooh, if I look this way, it's this color. If I look this other way, it's this other color. Like I love the effect. I think it's fascinating, and I was the kind of kid, and I still am the kind of person who will be fascinated by any kind of like optic effect. And these are, to me, like pretty awesome in that regard. Okay, so that was light gold. Kind of looks like if you took any gold and mixed it with white paint. And this is the white gold. We'll be able to see with the silver one if it's actually just silver with a different name. Because it kind of looks silver, right? Doesn't look... I don't know. Creamer gold is fabulous, the silver nothing special. Huh, good to know. It's the one from the intro set. Aww. Yeah, I understand. I grew up with kind of a middle class setting, and quite some time ago, and it was like a big achievement that I got a $100 like CD player 1 year for Christmas, and it had to be like from everyone in the family. They all contributed to get me this CD player. In retrospect, it's kind of silly because now like the technological toys, air quotes, kids get are like cell phones, and these cost a lot more than $100. Oh, can I slowly stir my water? Hold on. Is it picking up the super nice like shimmer effect? The last color is white gold. Oh. Still out of paper. I'm always out of paper. Can I write on these? Riordan 307 Star Gold Colibri Fine. Awesome. I really like the Colibri paints. I gradually got the whole set, and I love them a lot. Finetech and Coliro are the same. It's so pretty, right? Like whoosh. Like you keep you find a watertight jar, and you just keep your rinsing water in there, just for the sake of shaking it sometimes and having the flecks of color. Okay, let's see the silver one. These are a bit old, so they're probably drier and probably a bit harder to re-wet than the fresher ones. It's a really, like, I don't know why they call this silver, because it's really just like kind of a white shimmery effect. It's not, it doesn't feel like silver, just feel like more like a pearl color. It's super fine though, and it's a really nice subtle shimmer, but I mean, I see this and I don't think, oh, that's silver. I think, oh, that's shimmery. The water is so pretty that it looks like if you drink it, you turn into a beautiful water nymph maiden. Oh, I wish. Probably just gonna poop some shimmery poop, sadly. Yikes. It is old and dry. I'm a bit bummed that they don't sell the gold pans separately. Feels kind of a missed opportunity. Is it the intro set with the gold? I think it has a white and a black in it though, doesn't it? I think that's why I looked at it when I was looking at the sets, and I think I ended up... What's wrong with shimmery poop? Nothing! Just a waste a bit because you can't really enjoy it, but nothing wrong with it. But yeah, the fact that it has a white and a black in it, if it's the set I'm thinking of, kind of made me a bit grumpy, because I'm like, well, you have gold, you have white, you have black, so on an 8 colors set there is already 3 colors that are like either not going to be used as much or like special occasion colors, and I felt a bit disgruntled about that. But I might get it eventually, since you can use the white and the black to make value studies. You know, you can get capsules of gold leaf, so you can literally poop gold leaf poop. That's so absurd. Is it another way of life telling you you have too much money when you buy gold flakes in a capsule, so just you can poop gold? I think it is. Oh yeah, dogs eating jars of glitter is not something that is rare. I think dogs will eat anything, and I think glitter has suffered for that. Zinc white. Oh, it is zinc white. Oh, if only it would be titanium white. Zinc white is basically just a mixing color. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, the alcohol with the gold leaf in it, that's Goldschlager. That it's been years since I've been into that. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, and my years of being a teen drinking, because we all know teens end up drinking alcohol. Goldschlager. I enjoyed the smell of that one because it smells like cinnamon, but the taste of alcohol is just too strong. You can also get capsules of rose fragrance, so your poop smells of roses. Oh, Avery is asking, can someone explain what I missed in the Renaissance unboxing videos? I don't have the patience or integrity to watch it. Just basically that they sent a great deal of paints to try out, because they're just releasing, or soon to release, depending on where you're at, their paint, their watercolor in tubes instead of pans. And they sent me a really big bunch of them to try. And they are quite good. They're really nice, actually. Paint, kitties, and poop. Standard chat fodder here. Yep. Alright, so, okay, it's picking up. Seems the shine is picking up nicely on camera. I would say that the white gold makes for a better silver than the actual silver. The actual silver makes for a really nice pearlescent color. Like, I feel you could mix this with, you know, like if you wanted to make a sky that's a bit special, you could mix a bit of this in your blue and have a sky that has kind of a shine to it, or like perhaps water. If you want to have a shine on water, you could use these. And the gold, the regular gold, looks a lot like the antique gold, I think. The rose gold, red gold, yellow gold, and white gold are fairly unique, though there is not that much of a difference between the rose gold and the red gold. It's really faint. The yellow gold is nice and sparkly, really nice and sparkly. The antique gold is okay. The white gold is basically, it looks like it's like this one with white in it a bit, or you know, kind of this idea. And the white gold is really nice. I will zoom in with my face to see if they list the pigments on there. They only say pearlescent pigment, so they kind of dodged that one bullet. It also says special edition on the wrappers. The maiden palettes even come with pans inside. Well, you have to pay for them. Like on AliExpress, when I've seen the listings for the maiden palettes, you can choose between empty or with transparent pans or with white pans, I think, or perhaps full pans or half pans. Something there. There's like 3 ranges. I'm really excited to see the pearl colors, Jacqueline. I'm gonna have to check. Remember to check your Instagram for these. These are the colors one. Like it really looks like they took super intense colors like phthalo green and added some shimmers in it. You know when you have like the inks for fountain pens that are shimmery? That's kind of the look the shimmery paints have from what I've seen. I haven't seen a lot. Like it was just a sneak peek here and there, but that's what I remember from what I've seen. Is anyone planning on buying the Daniel Smith half pan set when they come out in September? It really depends on the price. I would say that as things stands now, having no idea of the price, it's not something I feel tempted to buy because I already have more than enough Daniel Smith and they are already all in pans. And I am trying not to focus on pans that much. It's a nice way to store paints and have it easily accessible, but in terms of using a palette of pans, I kind of want to have more slanted wells palettes. Shiny, I'm not gonna say that then, even if it's a totally normal French word. Doesn't sound like it in an English setting. Hey, Paolo! Hi! Sorry, I'm drinking chocolate soy milk. Mostly because it's cold. And sweet and delicious. What does it mean in French? Well, it's a seal, you know, the animal. You keep having like these joke t-shirts that would said, you know, I don't want to say it because it's rude, but it would say, you know, what WTF stands for. Well, what in if you just hear what and you try to just convert the sound into a French word, it's basically how we say like for a cotton ball. It's a ball of wet, like the white fluffy thing. In French, it's wet. So you have what the word in English and you have what the word in French. So they would have t-shirt that would say what the and then the seal in French, because it sounds like the F word in the F, WTF. Long story. Okay, so I got 2 sheets of paper. This is B paper, the cotton one. Yeah, exactly. Hyakujen has said it. I'm not gonna repeat that because I do not want the like if I say it, you don't have the visual part of it, so it's not a joke. It basically just sounds like I'm being rude. But yeah, chocolate, soy, and gold glitter. Yummy. Yeah, the Holbein metal palettes have slanted wells, but they don't. They're super pricey, first of all, unless you can get them in Japan, and they don't get super big. Hey, Connie! Hi! It's nice to see you. So this is the paper I'm using. 100% cotton watercolor paper. I'm not using the 90 pound, this is the 140 pound. I got both. And what I want to do is something that Mr. E suggested, and I thought it would be fun. But he basically suggested that I do shapes in watercolor and then try to create creatures out of the shapes. And I thought that this was fun, and it's an exercise that might be super useful for our comic, because we have a scene coming up in the coming chapter that has plenty of creatures. So I thought it would be fun. Hey, Grace! Hi, Grace! So I thought I would use this palette. It looks like a koi watercolor pocket filled sketchbox, but if you know me, you will know that it's no longer the koi paints inside. I removed the insert and I've put 3 colors in there. This is Indian yellow, anthraquinoid red, and Indian throne blue. And it's a really fun limited color palette. So I thought that for the sake of designing shapes, this would be fun to use. I knew you would like them, Otto. We introduced new characters in this week's comic book page, and it was really fun because we hinted at them a couple of times. And if you know me and Mr. E in any way, it's absolutely not a surprise. But it was a lot of fun to finally get these guys in the comic. Oh, thank you guys. I love that you read the comic. I don't talk often about it around here because it's not, you know, watercolor, and ultimately the final art is done by Mr. E, not me. So I don't feel like I can say that much about the art, but I really enjoy working on it. And Mr. E does as well. And it's a nice way to plug in there everything that we like. So I'm just gonna use up the brush in kind of unpredictable way, just to get a kind of a shape that doesn't make any sense. And then after when that's dry, you can come back with any kind of darker, like a pen or anything, and try to decide where's the face, what am I turning this shape into? Is this the top of the head? Is this the butt? Is this the ear? Is this the nose? Is this... And I think it's a fun exercise to do regardless of what you like to paint. Like, you could decide to turn these into flowers, or you know, anything, monsters. What script do you use for your webcomics? It's either on our own hosting with a now defunct platform, fortunately, or it's on Tumblr. And I don't remember what we use as a... What did we use? I probably just googled like Tumblr theme comic and picked up. Yeah, I should have covered the koi. I should really cover this one with a sticker. That's a very valid point. Oh no! Good night, Cyan. I hope you can get a bit of rest. So yeah, and the main website, it doesn't use WordPress. We use CMS, a comic management system, I think it stands for. I think I want a bigger brush. That blue shape. I should be back. I'm hopefully back by now. It's hard to say with the delay and the fact that my internet disconnected. It was my fault. It's really on my end that the connection pooped out. Oh, awesome. Glad to be back. Hi, Tsukabu. So I switched to this small quill, which is super fun because it holds a lot of water. And I'm basically just mixing up these colors as I feel in this palette. So that's not it's really unceremoniously word, something like that. Let's make kind of a big creature here. Was there gold in your connections? What? I wish. With the with the actual price of gold nowadays. I love that you guys are already seeing things in these scribbles. These are pretty fun to do with kids also, I think. If you have if you're babysitting or if you have kids yourself or if you have younger siblings, this is something quite fun that you can do with them. It's fairly you know, you don't need to have super precise minutia to do blobs, and then turning the blobs into creature can be really fun as well. Like, you don't have to be super precise about it either. I love the the shimmer in the water bucket that's constantly changing hue. Like even this, even if the water is getting gray and all, with the shimmer in it, it's kind of really pretty. I hope a bit of the shimmer transfers into my blobs. That would be cool. Yeah, the water spells are great. They remind me of, alright, that's gonna be really nerdy perhaps, but they kind of remind me of D&D dices. Some of them have this finish that's shimmery a bit. I see my high school science teacher in there. I think there are quite a few artists who sort of paint that way. I'm thinking of Mandy. I cannot say her name properly to save my butt, but she's here on YouTube. She's really nice, she's really skilled, and she often paints these profiles of characters that start with a super expressive color layout, like just painting a shape in colors and letting the color mingle, and after that she turns it into a face, which I think is quite fun. How often do you clean your brushes? When they look dirty, like I will always rinse them out properly, but as for a thorough wash with a soap, that doesn't happen that often. Unless I'm using acrylic. If I use acrylic on a brush, then I will try to wash it with the soap, but if not... Hey! That one awkward guy. I think you told us your name last time. And I'm trying to remember. Last time I cleaned my brush was 1988. The one on the top right looks like my uncle Gustavo. Well, I did a few. Oh, maybe the camera is not picking it up so well, but this limited color palette doesn't do greens all that well. It does kind of a muted green, though it's a very lovely green. Hold on, let me pick up another sheet. So it's super great for muted mossy greens, but it doesn't make for a very light, bright green. Hey Dryad, hi! It's Indian Yellow by Daniel Smith. It's a mix of two pigments, if I remember well, like PY97 and PY110 perhaps? Yikes! I hope everything is fine, Otto. It's a Nobel. It's not even labeled. It's kind of a cheaper brand here. It's Nobel, like the Nobel Prize. Oh, it's PY97 and PY150. Thanks. But yeah, I don't even know the size of the quill, like it's not even labeled. have a bunch of brushes from, well, this one I used is a Nobel as well. It's like the really easy to find brand around here. Let's look at our first. It's not fully dry yet. Sheet music. Well, drive faster. What should we do? Drink more soy milk. Teaches French. What color would you use to paint light blonde hair? It depends on what your palette is like. What do you have in your palette? Or what's the lighting situation with the subject? Teaches French. Pizza is here, extra cheese, anchovies, green olives, and pineapple. Team pineapple on a pizza, yay! I still make like vegan pizza every once in a while, and I love to put pineapple on there. I am team pineapple. Parce que pourquoi pas? I think at the moment I have everything. Yeah, well, it depends on your lighting situation. You could use some things like really light yellow ochre, or some really light yellow with a tiny bit of red in it. Let's see. Yay! There are so many from Team Pineapple. Like this is perhaps a bit yellow, but still it could be a good basis for blonde hair. You could have even lighter color by adding in more water. Or you can make it a tiny bit redder. It's kind of flesh tone. Olives and pineapples, yes. Cheese, no. Fish, WTF. Well, I think Mr. E would enjoy the anchovies part of the pizza, but less so the olive part of it. I really enjoy just one of the fig cheese we have here and fresh pineapple. And I need to try with like smoked tofu at some point to see if it's like ham because of the smoky flavor. But every once in a while I will get a bit of ham on my pizza. So ham and pineapple and spicy cheese and tomato sauce. Oh yeah, no cheese on a pizza is it's kind of a weird one to have to make peace with. On the reference, it's kind of yellow-green. for the light blonde. Maybe tiny bit of blue. I have a really limited range of color here, so I'm not sure I will be able to fully get it, but I think like if you want to have the light feeling of the color, you could either dilute it with white, or if you prefer, you can also use zinc white to dilute instead of water. Did I say white? You can either use color and water or color and zinc white. Might be a tiny bit less transparent with the zinc white, but some people, it seems like some people don't like to dilute their watercolor a lot. Yeah, I would sometimes have ham and pineapple in the pizza, because that's the Hawaiian pizza, right? It's a Kabu. A cat wouldn't hiss at salty anchovies. They would be in it the moment it becomes available. Oh, Zoe. Well, we can talk about pizza because I think half the people in chat cannot enjoy actual pizza. Oh, Daya is awesome. I don't want to hear that Daya is junk. Daya is like hope in the very dark and gloomy world of being allergic to dairy. Hi, Malvina. Yeah, Otto is an amazing cook. Oh, with chilies. Oh, wow. So spicy. Basically, a spicy Hawaiian pizza. It's on our to-do or to-eat list for the very far future, when we can finally, like, either you come here and I make it with handmade dough, because why bother with store-bought dough? Handmade pizza dough and a bit of ham, fresh pineapple, and the spicy fake cheese. So it will be similar to what you used to have, right? Real pizza is really, what is real pizza, Connie? I'm really curious. Is it just like focaccia? And if I butcher any Italian words, I am so sorry. Oh, I didn't know Domino that had a like a semi-vegan pizza. Yes, spicy Hawaiian pizza. High five, Otto. Yeah. We always end up talking about food and like offending 20 billion people with our weird food tastes. Right, so this is mostly dry. I just need to find something. I don't think this pen will be... Does this pen register well on the camera? Oh, really? Ooh. Knuckles, though, really thin and soft. Basically, picture a sheet of paper, but it's pizza. Huh. Oh, awesome. I said focaccia right. I really enjoy, like, this is something I enjoy getting when I'm out at the proper restaurants, but every restaurant that does oven pizza, like firewood oven pizza, I usually just get like the oven fired dough that is super thin in the middle, and with the bubbly crust, and just tomato sauce, and that's what I like to get. I basically order like what they usually call the marinara one. Marinara. And no cheese. I just say, can I have this without any cheese? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. And it's pretty awesome. Like anything that has been cooked in an actual oven, like a wood fire oven, is so delicious. This is so cool. We need to have like this tour of like Italy, and then go to Japan as a bunch of people, and then I don't know. It would be so much fun. Okay, so kind of want to make this like a big nose. Maybe I should get a brush pen. Brush pen. Ah, wood fire oven pizzas. That's the best. Oh, it's so delicious. Oh yeah, that's the real thing. Like only have fire oven for pizzerias. It's kind of weird because the moment you eat a fire oven for like a pizza that has been cooked in a fire oven, okay, the moment you've had a pizza that has been cooked in a fire oven, it's really difficult to eat something else. Like, it's really perfect for cooking pizzas. And like even if you can cook a decent one in a regular oven, there's still something that is missing. Watercolors and food make a perfect combo. I agree. I agree. The pineapple shock. It's one of those things, right? One of the big divider of the species, as well as and liking raisins or not. Oops. Okay. That's why when Otto and Eve will come to my place, we'll have the perfect vacation, drawing and eating. Yes. How's the weather in Italy? I was just waiting for Mr. E to pick up the phone. Oh, Windows technical support. These guys. It's been really hot, but luckily we've been having thunderstorms. Yeah, the heat is kind of striking, but thunderstorms sound great. I wish we had more of those. I think it was my mom who called. Hey, I apologize. Whew. Ha! There's a bit of sparkle in some of the shapes. I feel like I'm drawing Pokemons, but like weird, even weirder Pokemons. I'm gonna have to go get something to drink, so I will be right back. All right. Giusberto? Which one? This one? Squirrel Snail. Herbert. Huh. I still wonder how they make, like, how they generate the shell. I think it's kind of impressive. I always feel bad when I see them like on the sidewalk when it rains and they try to get away from too much water, but they go on the sidewalk and you know they're gonna get stepped on. So I always grab them and I put them back into the into the edge. It's not their fault, they're kind of dumb. I'm basically just doing a bit of random things, and if we decide to use any of these, Mr. E is gonna make them look like real things instead of just blob, since his skills in anatomy and drawing are a bit more advanced. Yeah, they all look like Pokemons. Like, what happens when they've made more than 1,000 of them and they run out of ideas? Yeah, maybe it's like us growing nails, I guess so. But the fact that it naturally becomes this super intense, like, it's kind of it's an interesting shape, right? A shell. So I just wonder how it comes about, like, being this kind of a thing, because if you grow nails they're gonna curve a bit, but they're never gonna grow into such an elaborate shape as a shell, right? Think of a huge toenail that can be used to shield ourselves from rain. It would be pretty useful. But can you imagine if it caught in the wind? How painful it would get. Ouch. Oh, thank you so much, Zoe. That's so kind. I gained a new appreciation for your cat drawings because you make it look so easy, and they are absolutely not easy to draw. You mean like the cat critters, like the like realistic cats, or like little cat characters I draw? I thought it was a squirrel with a fancy hairdo. We were talking about slugs, so I'm doing a chicken slug. poster. Oh, the way you get the anatomy to look correct independently of the style you draw them in. Well, if it helps, I don't often know what I'm doing. I mean, I've had cats all my life and I still struggle a lot to draw them. But yeah. I think someone mentioned something like an octopus for this one, and I kind of like the idea of these things being like feet or I don't know, weird things. Tentacles maybe. I think the real question here is how long before I draw one that looks like a genitalia. I think that's the actual difficulty. Yeah, it is PG. I said, well, I mean, oh, I didn't know you drew a manga, Tsukabu. That's pretty cool. It's always easy to make something look like genitals. I agree. Like when I was studying graphic design, inevitably you would end up drawing an idea that looked like genitalia. You cannot dodge it. But instead of like trying to avoid it, everybody leaned into it, and it was really funny. Like we would have to sketch many ideas on sheets of paper, and at some point when you start getting after this first wave of idea, this kind of a slump, and everybody would be like, and like I remember we're like, okay, it's time to draw, you know, the obvious genitals shape, and we just draw it, and then it's done, and we kind of laugh about it, and we move on, and we get more ideas. But often what would happen is that we would forget about them being on the page, and then you have to bring all your sketch pages, like the pile of them, and bring them to the teacher, and they look through your sketches and they give their opinion of your sketches, like this is a good idea, this, don't try to do this, and we would often forget about, you know, the phallic symbols in there and all this absurd stuff, and it was really funny. And there was also like a group of guys that would always take time before classes to draw phallic things on the boards, like the blackboards, and they would not always remember to erase them. So it was problematic more than once. Hey, Carria! How are you? A lamp. Oh yeah. So it's kind of pointless to really be outraged by it because it's gonna happen, but I think it's always funny the way you sometimes you really don't expect to draw this, and then you turn your drawing this way and you're like, ah, no. I appreciate all the messages that get blocked. It's still funny, but yeah. Yeah, there's the issue of monetization too. It's kind of silly, like, you know, it's a bit like when you draw nudes to learn how to do anatomy better, and that gets demonetized, but someone being absolutely rude and impossible to other beings, their stuff is okay. Like, yeah, but ugh. YouTube, what are you doing? Yeah, I wanted to say, someone mentioned like the Windows technical support, and I've been watching Twitch streams by this guy named Kid Boga, and it's really hilarious because he calls scammers to make them lose their time, so they don't call someone else and rip off someone else. Like, he specifically calls them to interact with them and make sure the calls last as long as possible. So it's really funny because sometimes the stuff that happens is really like, you wouldn't think so, and there are some really funny situations, and I've been watching his streams, and it's super instructive. So I really like watching his stuff. But yeah, if your bank or Windows, or if these companies call you or leave you a message that's like super vague, and like, if you think about it, it doesn't sound really official. It sounds serious, but it doesn't sound official. Just don't pay attention to it. It's a scam. It's a scam. This guy has fallen and he can't get up. Oh no! Oh no! Wait. So Otto says that her mom decided she liked paintings by Egon Schiele. I have no idea how to say that word, his name, but anyway. So I sent her a book of his work for her birthday. It got searched by the Japanese customs. What? And she was not happy with me because I essentially sent my 73-year-old very conservative mother a book of nudes. Well, doesn't she like the painter? How can she like his work and not know he does a bunch of nudes that are super creepy? It's so weird. Okay, so first bunch of guys. This is actually quite fun. And it's quite easy to tag along if you decide to paint some blobs and turn them into critters too. Hey, hi, Ethereal Ode. Okay, so it's Schiele. Schiele? Yeah, English and French. That's something I can. So Egon Schiele. Schiele. She saw one painting by him which happened to be a woman fully clothed. She didn't realize he mainly painted nudes. Oh no. Oh, it's okay, Ethereal Ode, that's pretty cool. Ethereal Ode says, sorry I'm late, I was buying my grandbaby some art supplies. Awesome! Yes! Sheila. Sounds a bit like Sheila, but with a sound at the end. I always get a blast out of how everyone says Denis Villeneuve. If you guys are a bit familiar with your movies, he recently did Arrival and the Blade Runner sequel. And he's a French-Canadian, well, I think he's French-Canadian, but he's Canadian at least, director. And it's really hilarious to see the English speakers try to say his very, very French-Canadian name. I always laugh. Blue one should be a sloth. I kind of see it, but I kind of don't at the same time. It's weird because sometimes I get a feel like this reminds me of this creature, but then I try to think on how the creature looks, like how the animal looks, and I'm like, I don't have a clue. What? Oh, that's interesting, Connie. The fact that Sheila's heart hurts you. You seem to be really connected. Like some people, they really react and connect with art, and some other people feel like they analyze it more and they don't feel it as much. It's interesting. I miss my good old art history classes. That's really interesting. Oh, wow! I didn't know the 2019 Urban Sketcher Symposium was in Amsterdam. Pretty cool. Let's go museum seeing. No. I don't often go to the museum because it requires going outside and I'm not always comfortable with that notion. I should try more, but it's really difficult. We have a couple of good museums here in Montreal, so I should really bother more. Here, that's what I remember of a sloth. That's probably all wrong, but it could make for a fun critter in the comic anyway. I'm using a Pentel brush pen, the one that you can refill with cartridges. It's oh, speaking of, it's almost empty, but yeah. What? By the way, video of somebody saying if you use this kind of music, kill Seth. Never got that's what? Oh, yes, Otto, that seems like something you should definitely look into if you can combine both. Because I think it would be pretty inspiring to meet the artists of the symposium and to look at all the fun stuff and yeah, and also get your fountain pen. Are you gonna get another Mont Blanc? Well, it really doesn't surprise me, Connie, that you feel this way towards the paintings, because when I look at your art, I can see the kind of energy you put in it, and it really shows that you... I feel like it shows like you put in the emotions that are fitting with the emotions of your characters. Like, you're good at channeling this stuff, so it doesn't really surprise me that you say you react so strongly to certain paintings. Well, you told me about your Mont Blanc and how you loved it, so I figured that's definitely something to like a special pen. So special occasion, special place, special pen. And you could like do some urban sketching, because like I think urban sketching is just about, you know, you see something you like in a building and you try to write that down. It's like, instead of writing I saw a really nice building that had this and that, you just make a doodle, and it doesn't have to be like a super fancy or accurate doodle. It's just, instead of writing 1,000 words about the memory, you draw the memory. My pleasure, Connie. Hi, Gia. I've never tried a Mont Blanc pen, but they are pretty. But I'm like, I'm not a kind of person you want to invest on a super fancy pen. Like I am too unfocused. Like I have a zillion pen instead of one good pen. Because I just don't know which one I will like. I tried a bunch of fountain pens and I realized that some are really poor fits for my fingers and other work better. And so it's kind of weird. Like you should be able to try all of these before deciding to buy one, but that's not how our society is sort of built. It's more built like you buy a bunch of stuff and too bad. You just paid a bunch of money for stuff. What's the Kreller Muller? A slumped over teddy bear. I'm trying to like make these into monster or like weird creatures so that we can use them in the comics. So it's difficult because sometimes like something I say, oh, that reminds me of a real animal, and I'm like, well, that's not exactly what I want to do because I am really trying to put kind of a weird spin on it. Just to quickly recap if you're unfamiliar with the comic, but Mr. E and me, we do a comic and it's set in a magical forest that has all sorts of weird stuff going on, including super weird critters that are either completely made up or like magical versions of something that we know today. So I think we have mage cats and bears that are fully dressed, and you know, stuff like that. So when we have normal animals, they're often really weird. They're like the spirit of something, or they can talk, or there's something going on. So it's kind of difficult to find this kind of middle ground between something that would fit in the comic, because it's weird enough, but it's also like anchored into something, or not at all. Like it's weird. It's just weird. Oh, sorry. I forgot to say the palette. This is just an old Recollet box, like the pocket-filled sketch box. It was a 12-color set that I removed the insert, and I just put 3 blobs of paint in there. I'm sorry, I forgot to answer before. Like sometimes I try to keep up with the chat and I forget half of the stuff. I'm really sorry. It's a museum in the Netherlands that has the second largest collection of Van Gogh painting. Think of the night cafe. Oh, ooh. Yeah, that looks like a cat sleeping. Oh, sorry, Gia. I'm basically painting over, in terms of what's going on the camera, I did these watercolor blobs and I'm trying to turn them into creatures. And as for the chat, at the moment we are talking about art and museums and visiting places. A koala pup. Yeah, it's kind of the mix between a puppy and a koala, with kind of a bunny tail. Bye, Janik. Thank you so much for stopping by. Gary the Snail. It says like in the army on it. Oh! No problem, Gia. I hope I say your name right. Or is it Gia? Have fun on the road, Grace. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Oh, oh, okay, okay. I thought you were leaving, Grace. Well, I'm glad you're staying. Oh, wait. If you go back to Amsterdam, Otto, does that mean you will come back with a suitcase full of Pickwick tea? Just tea. Only tea. So, is it a hard G or a softer G? Um, so is it Gia or Gia? Mmm, swamp tea. Dino dude. Oh, Italian, so I guess soft. Okay, Gia. It's one angry sausage. It's a land eel. A land eel. Comes out of a bunch of plants. Goes rah! I'm gonna eat your face. And people go ee, and they run away, and it's stuck there. I can see it being grilled on a stick. It's a bit like well, it's a bit like eel actually. I'm getting really warm and out of idea. So I think I might just end this up here. I will do a quick recap as I usually do, but okay, so quick recap. Yeah, quick recap. I swatched the Schminke metallic paints from the gold set. This one, the gold pearl metallics. It comes with this tin. It's 6 colors with a very sharp and dangerous tin. Seriously, it's kind of insane. I've added previous versions of silver and gold from Schminke as well. And these are the swatches. So we have the colors rose gold, red gold, yellow gold, antique gold, light gold, and white gold. This is the old silver and the old gold. The old gold is really similar to the antique gold, and the silver is not really silver. It's more like pearlescent. The white gold actually kind of looks silver-ish, but it's you know how silver is kind of gray? Well, this is really white, and this silver is really white as well. It's not gray. It doesn't have that silver gray feel to it. And after this, the idea was to paint a bunch of blobs on sheets of paper like this. You just grab any colors. I used a little set I had around. It's an old box of the Koi watercolor set for the 12 color set, and I removed everything and I just put 3 colors in there to have a limited color triad. So I used that, and I just used any kind of brush. I use a quill, you can use a round synthetic, just anything, and you draw blobs and you don't think about it, you just draw them. You let them dry, and when they're dry, you grab a pen. I used a brush pen, and you can use a gel pen as well, white gel pen, if you want to have like highlights. And you just try to see something interesting in the shapes you've painted, and to turn them into like weird creatures or weird flowers. You can do vehicles, you can do just about anything. So it's just for fun. In this case, it was also to see if I could come up with some funny ideas to put in the comic. Like we were gonna have a scene with a lot of critters coming up, so it's kind of interesting to explore ideas and perhaps help Mr. E a bit with the the job of coming up with weird things. So yep, so that was today's live stream. Unless you have any more questions, this will be the end of it. You can leave your questions in the comments below otherwise. I'm trying to see the chat if there's anything. Time for a siesta. Thank you so much, Temple. And also, I want to say a big thank you to Grace and Otto for being awesome mods and always being ready to share links and have all the informations ready for you guys, which I think is pretty awesome. So, yep. I want to thank everyone for being in the live stream today. It's been super great to paint and chat with you guys, and it's always a blast and really makes my Saturday awesome Saturdays. So take care everyone, and I hope we will see each other quite soon, and have a great week and take care. Bye bye.